The life that you are living today is simply the outcome of the choices that you made yesterday and the choices that you made before that. Have you ever thought about this, that how many choices you make in one single day? Well, when I was invited to speak on this TEDx platform, the first thought that creeped my mind was, should I do it now or later? And a voice within echoed and it said now. And that choice brings me here today. My next question to TEDx organizers was, what do you want me to talk about? Should I talk about something related to my medical profession or something that resonates with each one of us? And the answer was simple. Doctor, it is your choice. And I was stuck by that 4 words. Because isn't life all about choices? The choices that you make every day, the big ones, the small ones, the easy ones, the hard ones. And that reminds me of a famous quote by a French philosopher, Jean-Paul Sartre, who said, "We are our choices." And in those 4 words lies a profound truth. So I invite you all to reflect with me onto how the tiniest of the choices or the decisions you make has the power to shape up your life. We all make choices, right? Some are as trivial as, what do I want to eat? Or what should I wear? And I'm sure a lot of us made these 2 choices today morning. But don't you think these trivial choices can elevate our mood, set up our energy levels, and are important for our well-being? Well, on the other hand, there lies those mammoth, life-changing choices, the ones which carry burden, the ones which carry weight, like your health, your career, your relationships, your partner, your dreams. But surprisingly, we don't make choices the same way. Like an example, if I ask all of you right now, what do you want to eat? I'm going to get 20 plus different answers. Because our choices are determined by our likes, our dislikes, our experiences, our intuitions, instincts, past experiences, our societal norms, what our family values and traditions are, and very important, what our mentors guide us. And I have been there too. Like a lot of you, at the age of 18, I was also made to make one monumental choice. The choice whether to pursue my undergraduation in MBBS in Amritsar, which was my hometown city. My entire family stayed there. My parents were the professors and head of the same medical college I was going to pursue my education with, and the systems were all in place. On the other hand, I had a choice to go to an unfamiliar city of Mumbai, a city we all know is full of chaos, unknowns, and the safety net was low. Everyone, my uncles, my aunts, even my dad, they urged me to stay back in Amritsar. And if I look back then, it sounded practical because it was comfortable. The safety net was there, it was convenient. But my instincts, they were whispering something else. And I came down to Mumbai because I wanted to create my own identity. The struggles were immense, the city was overwhelming, but that choice did a profound transformation. It changed me from a very pampered child to a strong, independent woman standing in front of you. My dear friends and my dear students out there, life is nothing but a mosaic of choices. And it's not the chance, but it's the choice that you make has the power to shape your future life. Well, now we all make choices, right? Small or big, we make decisions. They create patterns. And those patterns, they don't just shape our circumstances, but they shape us. 3 years back, I had a very tough time in my life. Personally and professionally, I lost a lot of things. But these last 3 years, small daily choices, very small, simply choice to get up every day morning and keep going. Choice to take care of my mental health by practicing gratitude, journaling, meditation. Choice to take care of my physical health even on the days when I have felt broken. Choice to be present at my work daily, and to handhold my patients not only in their medical journey, but in their emotional journey as well. And the choice to give my best in any role that I endorse to. These tiny little choices, they created strong patterns which helped me navigate these 3 years. And well, I take a pride today to share some of my biggest achievements of this year. I became an entrepreneur, my life's biggest ongoing challenging journey. I was awarded as the National Young Achiever and the National Youth Icon by the country's largest fertility organization, ISAR. I was awarded as the best IVF doctor of the West Zone of the country by the Economic Times Health World. Was featured as the top 5 entrepreneurs in the India Today magazine. And just yesterday, I was listed amongst the fabulous 40 women of 2025 India by the Femina magazine. And today, my most pride moment is when I stand in front of you all as a TEDx speaker. But much more than the achievements was the incredible transformative journey because of these choices. From somebody extremely emotional, extremely impulsive, too afraid to take any risk, I am today more self-resilient, self-aware, self-confident, somebody who embraces the uncertainties of life and has the courage to take risks. A single yes or a single no can change the entire trajectory of your lives, and therefore I reiterate again that every choice matters. And yet I am amused that how many times we make these choices on an autopilot mode. But what if I ask you, start making choices with an intention? Everything changes. Instead of reacting to the life, you start responding to the life. You start shaping the life. And are there tools? Of course, yes. There are beautiful tools like setting up a goal, weighing the pros and cons, taking a step back and reflecting your journey, journaling your thoughts, and very important, seeking the advice of your mentors. And with this, I take an opportunity to thank my biggest mentor, my mother, who at the age of 23, with just one advice, helped me make a choice and which changed everything for me. I was yet again at the crossroads, this time for my post-graduation. Should I go back to Amritsar and pursue my education where my mother was going to be my guide, or continue to stay back and do my post-graduation at KM Hospital in Mumbai, the city I was so passionate about and the organization which was my dream institute? She just said one thing, "Beta, I'll be your teacher for the lifetime. It is time for you to step into this world and learn from the world." She gave me the wings to fly, and I'm still flying with those wings. That one advice from the mentor helped me make a right choice. As life passed, like all of you, I kept making decisions, I kept making choices, I kept failing, I kept succeeding, I was learning at some and I was progressing at others. And in this personal journey, I made my own acronym for the word choices, where C stands for courage to take risks. H, honesty with yourself, what I want. O, openness to others' opinions, knowing what matters and what doesn't matter. I, individual perspectives and past experiences. C, clarity of your own values and your goals. E, excitement. Your choice, your decision should inspire you, should give you that excitement. And very important, S, the self-confidence that I can shape my future. And my dear friends, these intentional choices don't just create outcomes, they create you. It sounds so rosy now, right? We know the powerful impact of choices. We have beautiful tools to create intentional choices. But there's one dark force sitting next with you, sitting next to me, that comes right when you are at the crossroads of making a choice, and that shadow is fear. Fear of failure, fear of missing out, sometimes both. And we find ourselves so paralyzed and crippled in that moment that we choose to stay still, because still seems to be safe. But does being still or being safe means growth? No. 2 years back, I had to take one tough call. There was a choice. I could have continued as the medical director of a very prestigious corporate hospital. There was a financial security. It was a very well privileged, esteemed profile, and the systems were set. On the second hand, there was a choice to start my own hospital, build my own cultures and own systems. But with it came financial insecurities. There came a fear of starting from the scratch. And there was a fear, my biggest fear. What? What if I fail as an entrepreneur? The fears were real. But instead of drowning into it, I actually divided my goal into small, actionable steps which I could control over next 6 months. The fear never vanished. It just turned into a fuel, and that fuel kept me moving. And it is in that moment that I realized that fear comes when you are at the crossroads, at the brink of creating something extraordinary. So my dear friends, next time when you come across fear, don't sit back. Leap forward. Move towards the life you envision to live because you are at the brink of creating something extraordinary in that moment. As we come to wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 things. First is my question. What choices are you making on a day-to-day basis? Think about it because those day-to-day choices are not just shaping your day, they are shaping into who you are becoming tomorrow. Second, I challenge you. Pick up one area, simple, one area. For the students, it could be your studies, your career, your health. For somebody, it could be the relationship. Or as simple as for someone, it could be what I want to do with my free time. Once you have picked up that area, question yourself, what choices are you making here? And what differently can you do tomorrow? Once you have done this activity, make a goal, write it down, make it real. For example, I choose career. Maybe I can choose to go and seek my mentor. I choose health. Maybe I can start cooking one healthy dish a day or maybe start doing 4 workouts a week. Because these tiny small steps, they create a big momentum. And my third thing is a request to all of you to have a decision journal where you write down what choices you have, why you have these choices, why you made those choices, and what are the results coming from it, because you will strongly see powerful patterns emanating from it. My dear friends, the power to change your lives is not there. It's here right in this moment. And these choices are not random events. They are those threads which, when woven together, form the fabric of who we become. And as John Paul Sartre said, we are our choices. That means you and I are not bound by our past. We can still choose courage over fear. We can still choose growth over comfort. And we can still choose passion over doubt. Because life in every moment will keep giving you chances and chances to shape up your life. And Lao Tzu once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. What is that one step that you are going to take today, and what is that one choice you are going to make today which is going to shape up your future? Because the life you envision to live doesn't come in one leap. It comes step by step, choice by choice. And my dear friends, you are the architect of that future. You are the voice of that future. Thank you.